5, the 7th-ranked Notre Dame women's basketball team looking to bounce back after a loss at North Carolina.
We have an opportunity to get better. We have an opportunity for another opportunity to play.
The Irish taking on Wake Forest tonight at Purcell Pavilion, and ABC 57 News will take you there live.
The city of South Bend now suing to recover $5 million from a downtown developer who promised a grocery store and pharmacy on site.
I think the vast majority of people feel cheated and insulted.
The makeshift market put in place now sparking legal action.
And controversy in Coloma over a book handed out as a gift by a middle school teacher there. Some parents now filing police reports claiming Looking for Alaska by Indiana author John Green is pornographic.
Live across Michiana, this is ABC 57 News.
Hello and welcome to ABC 57 News here at 5, everyone. I'm Brian Coneybear.
And I'm Tiffany Salameh. This is the book sparking controversy in Coloma. It's called Looking for Alaska, a coming-of-age story about a teenage girl that does include some sexual content.
It was given out by a middle school English teacher, and some parents are calling it pornographic, even going to police over it. The school superintendent in Coloma telling concerned parents in an email this week, quote, "This book was not purchased with district funds, nor is it any part of the district's curriculum. I agree with you 100% on the fact that this book should not have been given to students without parental permission."
ABC 57's Annie Kate is live in Coloma for us tonight with the growing controversy. Annie.
Well, Brian, Tiffany, a group of Coloma School District parents are filing police reports alleging that the teacher in question illegally distributed pornographic content to minors. The novel, Looking for Alaska, was given to a class of 7th graders at Coloma Junior High as a late present after the holiday break. As the superintendent made clear in his statement, it was not school curriculum or required reading. One 7th grader who received the book says the teacher was passing it out, and he said it was more of a, quote, grown-up book. Now, the book uses profanities often, and there's one sexually explicit scene. That student's mom shares her reaction when he showed his gift after school that day.
I was appalled. I was disgusted because this book is absolutely disgusting and should not be material that's distributed to minors. And with parental consent maybe, but there was no emails, no prior knowledge of this book coming out.
Now, one Coloma mom says she filed a police report, and she is not the only one because she believes that teacher gave pornography to her child. Hear from her on ABC 57 News at 6. For now, live in Coloma, Annie Kate, ABC 57 News.
All right, Annie, thank you. Looking for Alaska was written by Indiana author John Green, who is very popular. He also wrote the young adult hit The Fault in Our Stars that was later turned into a movie. Mr. Green telling ABC 57 News in a statement today, quote, "As I understand it, the book was a gift, not required reading, and the students are under no obligation to read the book any more than they are under any obligation to read the many books that are freely available online and that some people may find offensive. Looking for Alaska," he says, "is not a pornographic novel. It is a novel about loss and grief and radical hope," unquote. Stay with ABC 57 News for continuing coverage of the controversy in Coloma over this book. We'll be live with concerned parents there coming up again tonight at 6.
Developing tonight, the city of South Bend is now suing to recover $5 million taxpayer dollars from a downtown developer. David Matthews got the money with a promise to add a full-service grocery store and a pharmacy to his 12-story apartment complex along the East Race. And so far, there's only a few tables and sparsely stocked shelves. ABC 57's Julianne Grahowski is live outside of 300 East LaSalle for us with the latest on the dispute. Julianne.
Yeah, Tiffany, well, the grocery store here had its soft opening back on New Year's Eve, but city leaders say what they saw in pictures and read in letters from concerned residents isn't at all what they agreed to back in 2017. That's why today they're in the beginning steps of filing a lawsuit against the developer, David Matthews. According to the addendum to development agreement from 2017 concerning the grocery store, the requirements for a full-service grocery store include fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh and uncooked meats, fresh or frozen seafood, and dairy products at the minimum. Instead, South Bend residents saw rows of Pringles, Ritz crackers, frozen meals, and some loaves of bread at its soft opening on New Year's Eve. It's since closed back up, and now city leaders and taxpayers want their money back that they put into the project. 6 years ago, the city entered into a deal with Matthews to open a grocery store and pharmacy on the ground level of the townhomes on 300 East LaSalle. He was given $5 million from the City Redevelopment Commission to do just that. The city says they gave Matthews multiple deadline extensions, the last one giving him until this past New Year's Eve. Now, after 2 years and 8 months after the original deadline and still no grocery store in sight, city leaders say filing a clawback for their $5 million and $2.5 million in damages is the right thing to do.
Every South Bend resident chipped in $50 to that project for a grocery store and a pharmacy, and I think the vast majority of people feel cheated and insulted. We authorized the city attorney to send any necessary notice of default or breach of contract. We authorized the city attorney to retain outside counsel to file necessary litigation.
And coming up at 6, what Matthews himself has to say in response to the clawback and his side of the story on the grocery store opening. But for now, reporting live in South Bend, Julianne Grahowski, ABC 57 News.
Julianne, thank you. And breaking news we're following just into the ABC 57 newsroom tonight. Police in South Bend are on the scene of a shooting happening late this afternoon. Officers called out to the scene near Western Avenue and Camden Street around 3 o'clock on reports of gunfire. They do confirm one person was found suffering from gunshot wounds at the scene there. ABC 57 has reached out to learn more about the victim's condition and whether any arrests have been made. Stay with us on air and online for the very latest on this developing breaking news story. Once again, a shooting on Western Avenue in South Bend late today.
A similar scene developing in Elkhart last night where a teenager somehow got shot. Police rushing to 8th Street and Indiana Avenue in Elkhart on reports of gunfire around 9:15 p.m. While they were there, a 19-year-old man walked into the emergency room at Elkhart General Hospital with a gunshot wound. The victim told police he was inside his home minding his own business when he was hit by the bullet. Investigators say they later found damage to the house and a nearby vehicle. The teen was treated for non-threatening life injuries. He is expected to be okay.
Another investigation is underway after a man was hit and killed by a car in Elkhart last night. Police confirm 61-year-old Carrie Slack was struck here off of Johnson Street, south of County Road 6 on Wednesday evening. Elkhart police say a Toyota Camry was coming down Johnson Street and hit Slack, who was crossing the road at the time. The driver is reportedly cooperating with police and stayed on the scene. We'll keep you updated on air and online as we learn more details on this developing story.
A gray and colder day today, and if you were watching us yesterday, you saw how it's pretty much removing much of the rain from the forecast. It was not all that wet today, but temperatures have been dropping. Here's the past 12 hours. We're hanging around 40, and now we're starting to drop 30s. We'll head towards the freezing mark tonight. It will get colder. Temperatures right now, just now, dipping into the 30s. We'll head towards the freezing mark, and we could see some lake effect snow for some areas. The bigger story is going to be the wind chill, which right now is around 30 degrees or colder for the area. It is really going to bite by tomorrow with a wind chill around 20 degrees. The outlook for lake effect snow tonight, it's not that huge of a deal, but again, if you're west of 31, LaPorte County, Berrien County, western St. Joseph County, possibly northern Stark, we're talking bands of snow, more than an inch possible, but they'll be melting at the same time. Could have some low visibility, travel towards Chicago, might have a few near whiteout areas in bridges and overpasses would be your top concern of a surface that could get slick and to be careful of. Going back 12 hours to satellite and radar picture, here's the rain. Look at it trek across central Indiana into Ohio, but we were mostly just on the edge of this, and most of Michiana didn't even see a drop of precipitation. It's been very dry, but temperatures are now getting colder. On the backside of this, we're starting to see that change. I'll track the lake effect snow in the forecast.
All right, Tom, thank you. The Notre Dame women's basketball team set to tip off tonight at home against Wake Forest. The Irish were ranked 4th in the country before losing to North Carolina over the weekend. ABC 57's Levon Whitaker is live at Purcell Pavilion on campus with the team's latest challenge happening tonight. Levon?
Yeah, that's right, Brian. Both the men and women unable to get it done over the weekend in Chapel Hill. Unfortunately for the women, that loss did cause them to drop from 4th to 7th in the country. The loss to UNC was just the 2nd of the year for Notre Dame, and prior to the upset, the Irish were on a 6-game winning streak that started against UConn at home. Since returning from the 60-50 loss, head coach Neil Ivey says the team looks to be better in practice because of their focus and intensity in response to what took place over the weekend in North Carolina.
I think it's just acknowledging where we need to grow in different areas. We watched it on film, had a really good team meeting just to kind of focus on the things that we need to work on, looked at it, and then again, their mindset is, okay, we have an opportunity to get better. We have an opportunity for another opportunity to play. And so they know that, and we're at home, so we're excited.
Well, definitely their home court will certainly matter tonight as they are 6-1 at home. That one loss coming to a non-ACC opponent. Unfortunately, that's all they have left on the schedule is ACC opponents. So we'll hear more from Coach Ivey on how they plan to play out the rest of the season and what that's going to be like playing here at home tonight and moving forward. But for now, live from the campus of Notre Dame, I'm Levon Whitaker, ABC 57 News.
Right now, airlines are picking up the pieces after a computer meltdown led to a complete ground stop on all flights across the U.S. With the FAA's critical computer system back up and running, a senior official says the agency has increased staffing to monitor the system and help prevent another catastrophic failure. This amid a demand for answers with thousands of flights delayed or canceled Wednesday.
With a government system, we're going to own it, we're going to find it, and we're going to fix it.
According to FAA officials, during routine maintenance, an engineer reportedly replaced one file with another, leading to that major meltdown. Some experts report the system currently in use is outdated and say a newer version would have detected the bad file.
New details tonight on the push for pot dispensaries in Stevensville, Michigan. Voters will now decide what happens in May. The Board of Trustees there approved 2 recreational marijuana shops along Red Arrow Highway in November to raise money to repair local streets. But an activist group called the Friends of Stevensville is trying to reverse the decision, saying they don't want weed stores as neighbors in Stevensville. Now, a ballot question that would ban cannabis retailers in the village will be on the ballot this May. If it passes, village leaders say property taxes may have to rise to pay for all those road repairs. Warsaw officials say fewer drivers are blowing past school bus stops these days. Stop arm violations at the East Center Street bus stop in Warsaw have gone down. 110 people drove past a stopped school bus in Warsaw before November the 3rd. Since then, that's down to just 61. At the Center Street bus stop, only 6 drivers violated the law. The Warsaw Community Schools Director of Transportation says it's all thanks to increased signage in the area and more drivers finally paying attention.
Coming up on ABC 57 News at 5, President Joe Biden now facing a special counsel investigation after a second batch of classified documents is found at his Delaware home.
It was in the public interest to appoint a special counsel.
Attorney General Merrick Garland trying to treat Biden the same way the Justice Department treated former President Donald Trump.
Gray and colder today and even colder tomorrow with a nasty wind chill in the forecast.